How is it going, you lovely lot? And a warm welcome back. It's Part to Prem. It's a transfer special. Yesterday was a barnstormer of an episode, and today, well, we've got to prepare for promotion, haven't we? Yes, that is right. Spoiler alert. We were promoted from the Enterprise South. Yes, it went down to the wire, but we managed to do it. Wildston are the team coming up with us. And I really want to hit the ground running going into next year. Now, being completely real with you, the Enterprise National League is arguably the hardest league to get out of in any kind of Park to Prem run. It's this level where professional teams meet amateur teams, meet semi-pro teams, and yeah, there are some pretty good teams that will get relegated from League 2 that we're going to have to contend with. The one crumb of comfort is last year, Dagenham and Redbridge won the National South. They won the playoffs in the National League, finishing 6th. So it is possible to go back-to-back promotions. But in order to do that, there is no denying we are going to need to make reinforcements. And off the back of an FA Vars final loss last episode, admittedly on penalties against a team who qualified for the playoffs in the National League in Scunthorpe United, I really just want to keep the good vibes and the momentum going as we head into the new season. I thought to kick things off, we'd have a little look at my manager profile. Not that there's a great deal to see on this screen. I feel like it's one of the more unfinished screens, shall we say, in Football Manager. But yes, we've got our National C licence. I might try and get that updated and upgraded because there was a bug for a little while where it'd always get declined. I think that has been fixed in the latest patch. As for our kind of manager side of things, you can see here, we've had a pretty good time so far. In the Enterprise South, 4 awards, 1 trophy win. I wish there was a way I could actually see the trophies I've won. I was looking for the inbox zone. We were Manager of the Year, but there's nowhere to see that. Although I guess technically if I go through, is it under About, and then, oh, where are we? Award winners? Why is everything so hidden in this game? Yeah, you can see here, we finished in 1st place and we got 13 manager points, whatever that means. You might have also noticed Calvin Diakite won Player of the Season despite the fact he was suspended for the biggest games of the year. There's no denying we are as high as we are in the table this season because of this man. The 19-year-old is someone we need to continue to build around. Just before we get swept away with transfer business, let's discuss some pans for the stadium. Yeah, pun intended. Of course, we play at the Dripping Pan. The pans have been announced. We're adding 1,000 seats. I say 1,000 seats. Actually, it's not 1,000 seats. We're just adding 1,000 more people standing area for people to stand. Yeah, that's good. No new seats, more standing area. 7 months it's going to take to complete. £110,000 is not cheap. I guess the one silver lining is, off the back of our kind of FA Cup run last year, the FA Trophy run this year, our overall bank balance is at over £1 million, which for a team at our level is absolutely amazing. The bank balance is healthy, so are our budgets for the upcoming year. We've got plenty of wage budget surplus, transfer budget as well if we do want to go out and make a signing or two. But yeah, I feel like we just need a few key players really this year. I have started doing some early squad kind of planning and tactical planning actually as well this year because I think we might change our shape slightly. We'll talk about that in a moment. There is one player in this list of players who may not be contracted beyond the end of this year. That is Ryan Bernal. He wants £900 a week now to be a backup right back, which I really can't justify, despite the fact there is no denying he's been one of our best players this year. He's been one of our best players across the first 3 years of this save game. But as of last episode, with the arrival of Ollie Shield, the former Brentford man, there is unfortunately a change in the hierarchy, and Bernal, I can't give the money he thinks he's worth to. You might have also spotted Melvin Minter's contract is currently running out. I have offered him a new deal, so hopefully he's going to sign that and he will just be our backup again for next season. Now, you might have noticed there are only 19 players in the first team. I've already demoted all the players that I know aren't going to be sticking around, or are players that I think are probably going to be better served in the youth team next year. An example of the latter is Chukwuemeka Obi. We brought him in thinking he might be a really good first-team goal scorer for us last year. It's not really panned out over the course of this season. He's only 18, so I'm happy to stick him in the under-21s and give him another year, maybe to try and develop. And whilst it is a similar story with someone like Ewan Danaher, there are players in this list who aren't going to be sticking around. Regan Clayton has been a solid backup left back for the last couple of years, but he's not been happy at the club kind of playing a lesser squad role, so he's moving on. Sam Packham is another player moving on, another wing-back. There is going to be a little bit of a vacuum, I think, in that part of the pitch to resolve, especially if Bernal leaves as well. We need some backups there. Aaron Rowe also leaving the building. Admittedly, in Rowe's case, I think it's probably about the right time to let him go. He's just not quite at that National League level. And last but not least, this one is a little bit bittersweet. Shea Hutchinson is going to be leaving the building. The 27-year-old was here when we arrived at the club. We gave him some minutes this season, but he didn't really wow us. Admittedly, even in the Isthmian Premier League, it wasn't like he was one of our standout best players, but he will be moving on at the end of the season. We've already talked about Ollie Shield, but another player we've signed at the end of last episode going into this new season is JJ. He is a really, really good player who we're going to be training to play at centre-back. I definitely feel like that is the position to play this man in, although maybe he could slot in at centre-mid when needed. Do you find it a little bit interesting, some of the board and fan reaction? Like, I don't really understand why JJ is getting an E for the board rating. If someone can let me know, is it because I paid too much for him? I mean, I spent £13,000 on him. We've got £1 million in the bank. I think I'm allowed to spend a little bit of money. I digress. With the money that we've got available, I definitely want to be adding some players. And I do think maybe going down that route that we approached with Shield and JJ of looking for players that currently play the level below us might be a kind of good way to go. At this level, I feel like looking through the stages and then the best 11 for each league and just looking at all the players there is actually a pretty surefire way to find some good talent. Now, before we get into kind of going forward a little bit, because it is still only May, I do want to discuss the tactics a little bit at the club, because I do think I'm going to change things up going into this year. And to be honest, the main reason for that is Watson, who I've absolutely loved playing this year, and the 18-year-old has been great, of course, as an advanced centre-back. I think we've reached a point where he can no longer continue to be forced in at centre-back. He's a great player with really good mentals, well-rounded physicals, obviously, product of our academy, who I'm desperate to give more game time to. But that game time, I think, has to come as a defensive midfielder. Now, of course, last year, when we had the ball, we're kind of playing a 5-4-1. The most easy way to transition Watson into the kind of midfield was simply to move him forward, which, I'll be honest, that just seems really bloody obvious, doesn't it, to do it when we do things like that. And all of a sudden, it's kind of a hyper-offensive 4-3-3 that I think we might be looking to play. And then without the ball, rather than kind of playing the asymmetric 5-4-1, where we had Watson back, and then I think it was Gibbard at right centre mid back as well, something like this. Instead, we're going to just play a 4-3-3 without the ball as well. The one difference being, I feel like the wing-backs we've got to lean on. Diakite showed this year the power of wing-backs, especially at this lower level. His physicals are next level. Admittedly, Shield, who we've signed, not quite as rapid, but still a very good player from kind of a more creative and attacking point of view, which I definitely think is something we should look to lean into. And in terms of just a natural progression with the system that we've been playing and the players that we currently have, I do think kind of moving to this 4-3-3 is the way to go. Of course, last year, we experimented with going narrow with kind of a 5-3-2, and it didn't really work. A lot of our recruitment throughout the year, and when I say a lot of our recruitment, I namely mean Finn Welch here, was about bringing a bit of quality into the wider areas. And it's so with those changes, I think that this is just a logical way to approach things. There's a couple of changes in roles. I'm going to try an inverted winger out on the left-hand side. You'll notice at left mid and left centre-back, there currently are gaps. Those are areas of the team where I think we should probably look to sign a new first-team player. This does feel like just a kind of normal evolution of the team. When we have the ball, it will be interesting to see if the two centre-backs without a third centre-back in the middle is going to still work, because if it doesn't, I might change our approach play slightly, rather than what we currently have, which is distribute to centre-backs. And actually, when I look at this kind of preliminarily picked team, I really like the look of it. I think Princewell has proven himself to be a great lone goal scorer for us, playing as that solo striker. This year, 20 goals in 32 games. He actually scored significantly more goals in cup games too. Gibbard and Kyrie Pierre have now been our centre-mid partnership for the past year and a half, and to be honest, I feel like they are good enough to continue to make that step forward. It's one of the nice things about the kind of park to Prem save game. When you nail your recruitment at this level, often players can stick it around with the team for a couple of years, and I think that is going to be the case with these two players here. Historically, it's been the left mid that's been the more attacking midfielder, but with the changes in role where I want to kind of play that advanced attacking wing-back with Diakite, I do feel like with the inverted winger tucking in, having the attacking midfielder on the right-hand side probably makes the most sense. I have also started to block out a bench just a little bit, although admittedly this is all still in a little bit of a state of flux. If I do struggle to find a new centre-back, there is a world where LOM could end up playing at centre-back for us, but I do feel like maybe we should just look to get in a slightly better player to play alongside JJ at the back. And additionally, I know people are going to notice this, you might have spotted Michael King, currently not in my blocked out 11. I love this guy at 18 years old. He's shown a ton of promise, and he has set a club record 21 assists this year. So arguably, it is a little harsh to drop him, but just in terms of his raw current ability, and it's not just his star ratings, it is his attributes as well. He is just not quite at that elite National League level that I think is required if we are going to go for 3 promotions in a row. Obviously, the senior team right now is at 19 players. If Bernal leaves, it's going to go down to 18. I think our main prerogative is going to be to get in that left centre-back and the left attacking mid that I've already mentioned. And then beyond that, we're just going to be looking to recruit players that are arguably going to be depth options, or if they are good enough, are maybe capable of knocking a few of these currently kind of blocked out starting players down to the bench. As we learnt last transfer special, it does pay to be a little bit patient, but I am going to have a little look in the market. I'm going to come back towards the start of June. We'll see what's crack-a-lacking. Maybe there'll be some sales. Maybe there'll be some signings. Of course, on that date, we can start to approach to sign players on freebies. Okay, folks, we are back. It's the 1st of June. I might be about to set a club record transfer. That's not a sentence I thought I was going to say. I have been eyeing up Josh Horn of Dartford. I did take it upon myself to look through those teams a step below us to see what was out there. This guy at 19 years old popped up and he looks absolutely amazing. Now, ordinarily, I would scout a player like this to see their hidden attributes. I'm too excited to sign him and I just want to buy him now. As I mentioned, he was playing for Dartford, who are in the Isthmian League Premier Division, and like I mentioned, going to the season preview, looking at the best 11, and then just clicking through these players, and if anyone stands out to you, going and look at them is always a good idea to do. Naturally, when you go to this screen and you see a 19-year-old in the team when you click on them, that usually raises some eyebrows, hence the fact we've gone and signed Horn. I mean, to be honest, I was also looking at Casey, who played for Malden and Tiptree. How is this guy playing for Malden and Tiptree? It's absolutely mental. He's actually about to run down his contract, I realise. Now it's the start of June. He is on £5,000 a week, obviously. I don't have £5,000 to buy him. And for those of you that were wondering about the fate of our former rivals, they could still end up being our rivals if they catch us. They did manage to win the league in our absence. They kind of stomped the league. You'd like to think they would do that given the money they've got. But yes, we are going to forgo any sense of sensibleness and just sign Josh. There could be some awful hidden attributes here. £63,000 for us is a lot of money. And you're probably thinking, Jack, he's a right attacking mid. Have you signed a left attacking mid? Technically, yes. Technically. I've made one other signing in the last 2 weeks since you last here, and it's another player from the lower leagues. He was another player in a Media Dream 11, and it's David Lilly, who can't actually play left attacking mid, but we're going to train him to play there. And I do feel like once he's learnt to play left attacking mid, he is going to be a really, really good little player. Like I mentioned, he was playing for Chippenham Town. He was in the Southern League Premier South Media Dream 11. He was actually relegated with Chippenham from the Enterprise South, and whilst his actual performances haven't been that good, I feel like when you actually look at how good he is exceptional. Great acceleration, good pace, stamina, determination is standout for a young player. That's going to help with his development. Has kind of really good agility and balance for this level. His off-the-ball movement is great, and I feel like that 13 finishing really could make him a great little player. If we do just compare him against Mikey King, who was our left attacking mid last season, I mean, you can see where the new 19-year-old Lilly does kind of just have a little bit of an edge. Obviously, the one issue for Lilly is he literally can't play left attacking mid yet, but we're going to work on that during pre-season. Now, if you're thinking Josh Horn must be the most contentious signing you're going to make today, maybe not. Devon Wheel is available. This guy is 17. Wolves have announced they're just releasing him at the end of his contract. My scouts do like the look of him quite a lot. Enterprise South player, although apparently he is playing close to his potential. And he is injury prone. I probably should have looked at the cons before I decided to sign him. He's 17, he can play centre attacking mid, and I've decided I don't really like him anymore because, well, you might have spotted it. It's £1,200 a week I have to offer him in wages. I can't make this guy my highest earner, can I? I can't. Right, cancel that deal now. But Josh Horn is here. Yeah, like I said, I probably should have scouted him. Now we'll nervously look at the scout report. He's a leading player for Enterprise South teams, has potential to play at League 2, professional personality, might be a bit inconsistent. But you know what? As a right-wing option, I really do like the look of this guy. You might have spotted 1 year on his current contract. Let me fix that really quick. Let's trigger the optional year that we agreed on his contract. I suppose the logical question is he better than our current right attacking mid option in Welch? And if I'm being completely honest with you, the answer is probably not. But actually, is it? You know what? It's actually closer than I thought it'd be. What I am thinking we could do is actually move Welch to play at centre mid for the coming year. It probably would mean the end of the Kyrie-Pierre era. Admittedly, I am training Pierre still to play out the left side of the attacking midfield area. I mean, if I do compare Pierre with Welch, I think Welch is just a slightly better rounded option, isn't he? So the two new arrivals in Lily and Horn will probably play on the left and right-hand side of the team for us, with Welch then playing at attacking mid. I do feel a little bit bad for Pierre, but to be honest, as kind of a bench option, I think he could be really, really good. What I will say as well is I feel like the likes of LOM, Akipo as well, potentially on the bench, and, well, Pierre on the bench, we are very well equipped where if we have a major injury to a first-team player, our backups are at a very, very good level for our kind of current predicament. Now, unfortunately, despite it now being the 1st of June, I was still struggling to get a contract sorted for Bernal. You can see here, he wants to be an important player. He wants us to finish in the top half. How much is he going to ask for? Has he lowered his wage demands? £850. I hate to say it. Ryan Bernal he's ruined it for himself. He is not going to be here next year. One man who is going to be here for another year is Melvin Minter. He has signed a new contract. And this right here now is my current kind of forecast team going into the new season. I'm quite a big fan of it, you know. I feel like we're in a nice spot where with Ranson in goal, we just have a long-term goalkeeping option. He is one of a number of players that we offered a big blockbuster contract to last year, where it was a 2-year extension with a contract extension after promotion of 2 more years. Having now got promoted, he's on a 4-year contract on £900, which I'll admit, it's not a small sum of money, but for a goalie this good, that is absolutely tremendous. In the defence area, I think if we can find a new starting centre-back, we're in a great spot. Even if we did struggle to find one, there is more than adequate backups, though, I do feel like, in our current ranks. I mean, you kind of look at the likes of LOM and also Akipo. They played over 100 games between them this year. They are very capable players of featuring in the first team, and it's only really the fact that I'm being a bit greedy that I'm looking to kind of move on from these guys. Akipo, obviously, very quick, very good in the air. LOM, just a better rounded player. The reality is I'm kind of looking for a player who can do both of these players' skill sets. And I think we found that on the right-hand side of the defence in JJ. Whether or not we can find a left-footed equivalent, slightly different predicament and question to answer. I think right now the number one area of concern is the fullback area. We have Diakite and we have Shield, and I think they are great starters and I'm very happy with them. All my backups have kind of announced they're leaving at the end of their contracts. That is something I've got to look to address this summer. I know it's backups and it's fullbacks and it's not that sexy, but yeah, I can't forgo getting in at least one more backup probably for either side and then a third player who can play both sides reasonably well. At centre mid, we are absolutely sorted to the point where obviously Kyrie-Pierre we're training to play out on one wing. I'm actually thinking about Reindorf and if he should play on a wing too. I mean, he already has some familiarity of left attacking mid. To be honest, just for kind of the long-term prospects of giving him some game time, it's probably not the worst idea in the world. I think we are now at the point where we're training 4 central players to play in the wide attacking mid areas. Lily falls into that bracket. Pierre, Reindorf. I'm trying to think there must be another as well. Either way, we do need a little bit more depth in that wider area, but I think that can come from within. When we look at the current wide attacking mid options in the team, in terms of the backups, Michael King and Khan Bennett are the 2 options. Bennett is one of those players who was here when we first arrived at the club. Admittedly, he is asking to leave and he's not been happy about kind of the first team football he's got. 20 appearances he got in the National South. If the right offer came in, or even if I just found the right kind of potential backup attacking midfielder, it would be a shame to sell him because he is one of the last kind of remaining long-term servants who was here when we arrived. It might just make sense to sell him on. If he does go, though, definitely would need to find some replacement. And in terms of the striking area, I think Princewell is absolutely amazing as our number 1 player. And to be fair, I'm kind of content with Michael King as the backup, although he could end up playing, you know, out on that left-hand side. There is maybe scope to bring in another striker, especially if Khan Bennett was to move on. There is also Reindorf here, who I have just started training to play in the wide area, who can play as a striker, but he has also got a little bit of interest in him. With his valuation, if I could get a bit of a return, maybe it'd be silly not to explore it. Either way, though, as of right now, I kind of like the team. I'm not panicking too much because I feel like we've actually got a really good core to the team. I think our biggest issue this summer is the backups. Now, I will say that with this transfer special, unlike the last one, and you might have already gathered this by kind of the pacing, I am going to be going forward a few weeks to a month at a time, just through pre-season and recapping things. There's two reasons for that. Firstly, I think it's always good to experiment with the content format. And secondly, some of you will know I have a little puppy. He's a mini schnauzer. He got the snips today, and I kind of have to be on standby a little bit. He's still a bit groggy from the anaesthetic, and I can't just sit and record in a boarded up room. I need to be able to keep an eye on him at times. Anyway, I'm going to go check up on the dog, do some transfers. Hopefully there's going to be a few more players coming in, and I'll come back when there's drama. Well, despite an extensive player search, I'll be honest, it's not been that productive. We've not got any new signings going on, but it is the 24th of June, and we are now officially promoted. I have my season expectations, which I'm given the option to change them. I can't actually change the league finish. The aim is simple: avoid relegation. And if you were wondering, our first game in the National League is going to be against Boston United, my hometown. So that's going to be a fun game to look forward to. Yeah, we are going to be taking them on in a little over a month. But I guess most excitedly, with us now being promoted, we can actually look at the season preview, look at where we're predicted to finish, look at the Media Dream 11 and kind of figure out, do we have a chance? My guess, and I'm going to give you a guess here, I think it's going to be about 10th with the current squad in the season preview. Where are we in the season preview? 17th. Okay, that is a little lower than I wanted to see us. And we have absolutely no one in the Media Dream 11, which is, frankly, just a bit of a shame. I'm trying to think if there's actually any news to tell you about at the moment. I did accept a bid for Carl Bennett, but he turned down the move. But yeah, besides that, there's not a lot going on. There's no transfers right now. I have looked at players out there. I think I am being a bit more picky and choosy. But I do think come 1st of July, loads of players getting released. There should hopefully be plenty of options out there. Well, it's the 1st of July. It's happened. Benal's contract has expired and I have released him. I'll be honest, I do feel a little bit sad about this one. He's not the only player that's left, though. Izquierdo has left the club. He was kind of our fourth choice goalkeeper. He came in as our backup, and obviously with the new signings we made last year, he was just never going to get near the first team. And Archie Taylor has also left the club. Not a bad centre-back by any means, just not quite the level that we need our backups to be at. I didn't really want to lose Kyrie's Adams Coleman, but he wanted £900, and in all reality, he probably would have ended up being an emergency backup option for us. Naturally, spending, 5% of your wage budget on a backup makes no sense. So he has left too. Admittedly, with both LOM and JJ, they're both really right-footed with no left foot, so it's not exactly ideal. The one thing they would have going for them is the fact that with distribute to centre-backs on, they are actually two centre-backs very good with the ball at their feet. But anyway, that's not why I'm back. You don't care that I've released some players. You're here because it's the 1st of July. There should be some new free agents. And you might already know what I'm going to do. I've set contract status to expired, and I'm going to look at who's been released by the big boys. It's worth noting I've got transfer interest on doubtful air. There is definitely more Arsenal players than there was in previous years. Lewis Zevchevich John, oh my word, he is quick, isn't he? He is a left and right attacking mid. I mean, I need depth in that area. Good determination, 20 years old. I mean, he is a one-trick pony. He's got the mentals of a brittle sprout, but he's got the speed of Roadrunner. He wants to start the majority of matches. He only wants £460 to £600 a week. That is very reasonable. I've even told his agent he's asked for too much. He's actually lowered the demands. Now, just for a little bit of context, £600 to £500 would be a really good amount if he was to sign for that, because our current wage remaining is still £5,000. Given the fact I'm probably looking at signing 5, maybe 6 new first-team players, we're averaging, just shy of £1,000 per player. Probably do want to keep it significantly below that, though, just so I've got some flexibility as the season goes on. If some absolutely insane free agent decides they might want to consider us, I want to be able to pounce. I'm going to make an offer here for Zevkovic, Sean. What I will say is when it comes to this part of the transfer special, I'm not going to focus too much on making all these offers and getting too attached to players. As we kind of learnt last year with the transfer special where I kept trying to sign players and other teams would snipe them away from me, I can make offers to players here. That is a long way away from them actually signing for us. There is a relegation release clause in here for him. I'm not too worried about that. £500, 2 years. I like that deal. And given that's the first Arsenal player I've got to look at, I'm kind of hoping there might be some good options here. Marcel Washington. I need a backup left back. He's quite good, though. He might be too good to be the backup. Will he be the backup? No, he wants £900. That's not going to work. The only world where that could work is if I decided, for whatever reason, that Diakite was going to be a centre-back again. And I don't see a world where I'm going to make a man with 5 heading a centre-back, especially when he literally won the National South Player of the Year playing left wing-back. That would be stupid, wouldn't it? Omar Costley has 1 jumping reach, but he has some stuff that I really like about him. His technique's good, his finishing's good. Not a slow player, 19 years old. Only wants to be a breakthrough prospect. Oh my word, I can definitely sign this bloke. He's asking for £100 as an appearance fee. If I just offer him a part-time deal, am I going to get him to say the magical line? Some people won't know what I mean by the magical line, but there is a line you can get players to say where if they say, my client thinks this is a very acceptable offer, and it's what the agent will say, it means they're going to sign for you no matter what. Let's suggest this. These terms are acceptable. I'm going to up this a little bit. This line here. So Omar Costley, that's a good offer. I'm very happy with it. Obviously, he doesn't have an agent, but basically, if it's his agent, you just need this line to be said. And no matter what, when you hit finalise and go forward one day, the player will sign for you. Did just have a minor panic thinking, I hope he's English. He does have an English passport as well. So there's no work permit shenanigans. But yeah, this guy I can definitely sign him for £100 as a backup. It's exactly why I want to leave some wage budget surplus. And if you are wondering, Jack, if you know that there's a way that you can offer players a load of money and guarantee they're going to sign for you, why not do it with Zevkovic John? The reason is simple. With the wages that he was asking for, I'd have to pay him probably like £1,000 a week to get that magical line to happen. It's probably not worth it with him, but if there's breakthrough prospects we can sign for £150 and get them to say it, we probably should do it. Shane Byrne, also from Arsenal, also asking for a not dissimilar amount. Should I just sign 2 strikers from Arsenal? This guy's got 15 acceleration and 16 pace. Have I just hit like a weird gold mine of players? I mean, the other nice thing with these players, right, is he's signing and he's only wanting to be a hot prospect. So even if he doesn't play much for us, there's not too much harm done. These terms are very acceptable. Just nudge it up a little bit. See, it's not as easy to get the line all the time. £250 a week is not as cheap as I'd like to be, but you know what? For Shane Byrne, that is a wild deal, isn't it? He is probably one of those players where the physicals are distracting me because 16 pace, 15 acceleration is mad. But if we just do compare him with Michael King here, you can see why the man in green is probably worth just giving £250 a week to. Aaron Richards is another crazy quick player from Arsenal. Do Arsenal just send all their players to track and field events? Model citizen personality. I mean, I think with all these players, I'll probably scout them and then delay the offers and just, you know, make sure they definitely are good to join. Aaron wants to be a star player. He also wants us to make the playoffs next season. I should probably have talked to his agent about how much he wants. £330 to £430. I can get that down as well. He wants a relegation release clause. I mean, I'll be honest, it's probably worth just going for at £400. There's a pretty good chance that with a lot of these players I can't get to say the magical line, that they're going to end up going to other teams. But through sheer perseverance, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get one to join me. I'm going to remove the promotional wage rise here. He's asking for £300. I'm going to up this to £450. I think he'd be worth that. I'm not going to get the line out of him, but, well, you know what? I could try and get the line out of him. I don't think it's worth going too crazy. I'm literally just looked at the Arsenal players here. Now, I think you can already imagine what I'm about to go and do. I'm going to scroll through this list and go through all the big teams and try and make offers for all the various players that are available. I probably, to be fair, should put a contract status expired in just to limit some of the players showing up. I'm going to go through this list of players, make a load of offers. I'll come back before I hit continue just so you can get an idea of what kind of players we've been able to find. Okay, I didn't think I was going to come back for any specific players, but Junai Byfield here looks absolutely wild. 16 acceleration, 17 pace. He's a centre-back. He's a centre-back. He's been released by Tottenham. There is a major, major caveat with this guy. It's his wage demands. I've already talked with his agent. I know he's going to ask for not a small amount of money, but I'm really tempted by it. Can I negotiate it down to like £1,000 for a contract extension after promotion? Maybe I can negotiate it slightly. I think I'm going to have to give him £1,200. Junai Byfield, £1,200. We'll get a scout report. There's probably going to be other teams going for him. He is really fun, isn't he? He's not that big. He's smaller than me, but he's just quick. And quick is fun. You can actually defend too. One player who I really did like the look of was Genesis Antwi, but he wanted £2,000 a week, which doesn't work. Kind of going to hope that no one else goes in for him, because he would be perfect as a backup wing back. I'll be honest with you, having discovered those Arsenal players, I thought there was going to be this sea of similar talent, and then I find players like Zeppa, who's maybe the closest I've come to finding another Arsenal-like player. He's not even partially English. So alongside the Arsenal lot, there's 4 players we've made an offer for. Junai Byfield I've just bigged up. Callum Logan is another centre-back option that we could look to bring in. He was released by Tottenham as well. He's a very good kind of defensive player, good in the air as well. Not the quickest, but decent technical ability for the level that we're at, which would be useful with us playing it out from the back. Vinny Perkins would be a really good backup right back if we could get him signed up, although it is going to cost us a few £100 a week. And Jeffrey Ibangby, that's a fun name, isn't it? Released by Bournemouth. We've got this man to say the line, so he's definitely going to join us. Not the best wing back from a defensive point of view, but in terms of getting forward, being quick, and actually being a pretty smart player as well, I think he's a good fit. 12 crossing at this level could be lethal. Omar Costley set to sign. I'm going to hit delay on these deals, and the reason I'm going to delay them is just to let the scout reports come in. I'll be honest, there's absolutely no reason not to sign these guys for the price that we're paying for them, but you never know, like if they're really injury prone or there's just question marks over their potential, saves us a bit of money. Barnsley, Bristol Rovers, Cambridge and Carlisle have all made bids for Callum Logan. He's gone to Barnsley already. They were making bids at 9 AM. The race is heating up. An hour and 12 minutes later, he signed for Barnsley. I'm fuming. Oh, and Junai Byfield has just immediately signed for Chesterfield on £2,000 a week. To be fair, that is twice as much as I was offering him. Well, no one's made an offer for Zevkovic-John yet, so we've got that going for us. Some might accuse me of panicking here because I've missed out on a few targets. I've decided to offer Aaron Richards £900. I've kind of reevaluated his ability. The scouts are bigging him up. I feel like the model citizen personality has won me over. Apparently he's got League 2 current ability. I need him. I guess the other nice thing is, having offered that money, if he now turns us down, I can't kind of live a life of regret thinking, man, I could have offered him more. Things you love to see. Louis Zevkovic-John, welcome to Lewis. I am buzzing about this signing, and we've not overpaid for him. £500 a week, can play on the left, can play on the right, might start for us to begin the year, but even if he's on the bench, given his versatility, could be a really, really key player this year. I feel like it's a good sign when he arrives and instantly has the best star rating in the team. Playing out on the left as an inside winger, he is going to be really, really good. Will mean that Jamie Lilly, one of the new arrivals, drops down to the bench, but honestly, I do plan to rotate the team a lot more this year, and he will definitely get game time. Plus, we signed him only with the promised game time of Impact sub anyway, so it's not the end of the world that he's dropped down. Okay, well, another new signing confirmed. Vinny Perkins, £250 a week for a backup right back. I feel like that's quite a good deal. He's not the most exciting or flashing player in the world, but I think he's going to do the job for us. And now those various players who we delayed previously have now all said, hey, remember us? Oh, are you joining us? Are you signing us? And the answer to all three is going to be a resounding yes. Costley and Byrne, you can see, are both recommendations of an A. £140? £250? Oh, I'm clapping myself. What am I doing? The funny thing is, because I've signed these new players as hot prospects, they just get stuck in the under-21s. Immediately promote them. And I hate to do this, but Con Bennett, you can go down to the under-21s. I think I'm going to try and get rid of him. Now, I do think with Shane Byrne here, I'm actually going to train him to play out on the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot. I think that just makes a lot of sense for him. His best role already is a channel forward, and to be honest, the inside forward isn't too dissimilar a role. Byrne and Costley's combined height, by the way, in terms of jumping reach, is 3. Byrne has 2 jumping reach, Costley has 1. If these guys do end up playing for us at striker at any point, I think it's safe to assume low crosses will be kept on. And similarly, Costley is a pretty good channel forward, and with that in mind, I'm going to train him to play on the right-hand side as an inside forward. I feel like these two guys could be really useful players in the wider areas for us. As for Jeffrey, I mean, what a signing. £150 a week, 2-year deal, we're laughing. I mean, Diakite is our starting left wing back. Jeffrey's not even that far off, is he? Because he's got a reasonable right foot, I'm kind of half tempted to train him to play on the right-hand side as well, just for the double versatility. Does need to work on his defensive positioning a little bit, but if he can pick that up, this guy could be around for a little while. So our first team all of a sudden sits at 24 players. I think we have the depth we want almost everywhere. I guess the one exception might be just one more backup fullback, but someone who can play left and right and can just be the backup for both sides and third choice for both sides. Oh, Aaron Richards is signing for us. He turned down Wickham, Cambridge United and Macclesfield. Do I actually want to sign him for £900 now? I mean, he's absolutely rapid. He's only just turned 18. Model citizen personality. I don't really need him. I'm going to sign him. Why not? I'm having a rush of blood to the head. And all of a sudden, I've got like an almost completed first team and I've still got £2,000 free on the wages. I do always feel like in these lower league save games, getting your transfer business done early is really, really important. If you can move in, if you can make the signings that you want like we have, you're in a great spot. I mean, this has gone so differently to last year. There's only been a handful of targets that we went for that we didn't get. It feels like so long ago, doesn't it, that I signed Josh Horn for quite a lot of money, actually, for £63,000 to play right attacking mid. And yet, having just signed Aaron Richards... Well, I was going to say he might have some competition for his spot. He might still have some competition for his spot. He probably is just a little bit better on paper, which does make the wages questionable. Look, I got carried away today. Can you blame me? Actually, really pleasantly surprised at how much business we got done rather efficiently today. Like I said, I'm probably going to go and sign a wing-back who can play both sides. But besides all of that, unless some extraordinary player appears, I kind of feel like we're set for the new season. Look at that. Transfers just done at the start of July is nice. And of course, annoyingly, because Football Manager is Football Manager. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say the transfer span 2 years, but sometimes the transfer history just breaks in-game, doesn't it? And I don't know if you've had this bug. I can't see last year's transfers, which includes some of the transfers we made at the start of today's episode. Would love to know what you think of the tactical change-up plan that I've got going on down below, as well as, of course, all the signings. In terms of how the signings are going to perform, come back tomorrow. It's my hometown for the first game of the season. Boston United away. Last time I did an away day there, they only had 2 stands. It's been expanded since then. That's fun. If you have got any feedback on today's format for the transfer special, did you prefer it to the last one? Is it nice just to mix up a little bit? Let me know all your thoughts down below. And whilst you're down there, leave a like. It lets me know that you're enjoying the series and helps feed it into the algorithm. Besides all of that, I'm going to love you, leave you, see you tomorrow. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.